Hello, guys, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Game of Two Halves podcast. We are excited to have you guys back, and I'm joined by Jamie and Sam. How are we guys doing?
All good, Jamie. You all right, mate?
Yeah, all good, all well.
Lovely.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Anyway, we will be covering a lot in this episode, covering from Premier League, everything that's happened in the Premier League to a tier list, and even our most underrated Premier League 11. So we'll get underway without further ado with our tier list. Sam, I'll hand it over to you, and let's get going.
Cheers, buddy. As we all know, we're all missing the stadiums. We're missing going to the ground, the atmosphere, the chanting. But the old coronavirus has taken all of that away from us. Coronavirus. But we should be good to go with a tier list. And what we're going to do is we're going to base every home stadium, on their atmosphere. I know a lot of this might create some controversy, as Jamie's a Chelsea fan. Me and Fed are both Arsenal fans. Well, Fed's mostly an Arsenal fan. But, we have to. Unfortunately, there are no Italian stadiums in here, because Italian teams would absolutely destroy them, because Italians are allowed to bring in drums, pyros, all they want to do.
European atmosphere is something else.
Honestly,
I'll tell you what,
something different, honestly. So we're going to get straight into it with a little bit of a tier list for you lot. So here we go.
Lovely.
So as you can see, we've got 6 tiers. I tried to get for 5, but we've gone with 6. And we have all the clubs down here, as you can see. So the tiers go like this. The top tier, the amazing grounds, give you all the atmosphere you want. It gets me emotional, because it really does create tears, tears of happiness. We've got very good, then decent, and we've got on their day they are okay. Then we've got meh, and then we've got my kitchen creates a better atmosphere. Which I know a lot of people might be a fan of. We're looking at the Chelsea. We'll get into it. We'll get into the atmosphere list. And this, by the way, is home atmosphere. This is not away atmosphere. So we'll just go in the row. So Fed, mate, Goodison Park. On their day, they are a good ground.
They are very decent on their day. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm sort of torn between very good and decent for Everton. I think they make on their day, they do make a really, really good atmosphere. And yeah, it's pretty consistent. They've got good fans. They really do. So I think we should look between very good and decent. I'll give them decent.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I think we can tweak that later if need be, but I think now I'll give them decent.
Lovely. All right, Jamie, King Power. I know you've been there before for an away game. Chelsea.
I've been there last year. Yeah,
you've been there. So I know you will want to probably do this one. What do you think about the King Power? They only have one whole stand, so yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I've got to be honest. On that occasion, they scored twice, and they were okay. But I think generally, I think my split decision is going to be between meh and on their day. But I think obviously we've seen them in the league, and they look like it was pretty nice to watch in there. So I will go and give them in the yellow category. On their day, they're okay, I think.
Nice. All right, I will go to St. James's Park. Haven't been there before, but it's a very large stadium. Actually, didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah.
Obviously, very north, up in Newcastle.
Been there myself,
I think when I've heard them on the telly, and I've heard from other people, it's a good ground. I think they've kind of lost it over the years, because of their kind of like slump that they've gone on. Obviously, Newcastle was such a good team back in the day. So I think I'm going to go with decent, because I think they are a very good ground. I think they do create some noise, and they have some very, very passionate fans as well. Like, I've seen some proper bodies when they score goals. So I'm going to put them in decent with Goodison Park. Fed, mate, this might be one of the most talked about ones. And I think if there's a Leeds fan watching this and you don't put them in the category where you think, you might get a little trip down to your house. So Leeds, Elland Road. What do you say?
I think Elland Road, it sort of speaks for itself, really. It's class, and the atmosphere there, second to none. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put it in that gets me emotional category. I think it has
Gets
to
me
be done.
emotional. It does, to be honest.
It's incredible. Like the noise there, it's such a big football club, and I think it's so good for them to be finally back in the Prem for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't in the last 20 years, so I think it's what they deserve. Such a huge, big football club, amazing fans, incredible atmosphere. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Jamie, I'm actually going to ask you to do a bit of a double header here because I'm going to go for the one next to, as you know, is my football club. So, mate, you can do both of these. Wolves and Southampton. You've been to one. You've been to Molineux, I know. You haven't been down to St Mary's, but what are you saying about this one?
I went last year to the Wolves game and we did win 5-2. So it's tough to judge them on the atmosphere based on that. But obviously last year they had the incredible game against City. That come back from 2-0 down to be 3-2, and just what I was seeing from fan channels is that that end they have on the right hand side just makes massive amounts of noise. So that's why I'm kind of again inflicting between on their day they're okay, but from what I've seen them on a European night last year, as Joe Hart would say, they are decent. It's decent. Tell them, lad. Every day I'm shuffling. Yeah, so I'm going to put them in the decent.
Lovely.
Right, now heading on to the Saints. I mean, to be honest, they've, apart from the Saints going marching in, there's an awful lot.
I think you gotta put these boys in decent. Like they do.
Sorry, I've got to stop you. Wow. I've got to stop you right there, and I'm going to go and disagree there completely and chuck them in there. Again, it's a similar ground to Leicester, but I think Leicester's success recently has made them have more atmosphere. And Southampton,
Jamie, do Southampton? I know Leicester do, but do Southampton have the clappers? I don't know. Do they?
No, they don't. Leicester. Oh yes, sorry, I did mention that earlier. Yeah, Leicester. Actually, this might even downgrade them, but no, I think they're okay. They have these like clapper things, and basically that just shows that they aren't ever going to be above on their day, just because they have to use artificial sounds to get there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next one, I'll do this one. Boyhood club, the Arsenal. Emirates Stadium. Everyone calls it the library.
God, sorry. God,
yeah, honestly, I should have created a library. No, but I'm going to disagree with anyone who says that it's a bad stadium because we've actually got ultras. I don't know if you know, but there's like about 5.
Yeah, there's that corner
that has about 5 diehard fans. So we're actually the only team with I guess Crystal Palace have them, but we actually have ultras in our stadium, so that might just get me emotional if But personally, for me, I think Arsenal. I think it's not like on their day they're okay. It's like on their day they're absolutely superb. Because there were games like, I know it was a bit of a long time ago, but Spurs at home 4-2. I genuinely thought the stadium was about to split in two. Like when Torreira scored that goal, I genuinely thought there was like a minor earthquake in London, just literally because of that game. So because of that, I'm going to put Arsenal in decent. And I know that may stir a bit of a conversation among different fan bases, but I'm going to put Arsenal in decent. I know on a European night against Club Brugge, we might not have the best atmosphere, but on our day against Man United, against Leicester, against Chelsea, we're absolutely quality, which is why I'm putting us in decent. Fed. Right, Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park.
Okay.
They have some good fans.
I've been getting the big ones. I have been getting the big ones.
Yeah.
Selhurst Park is Crystal Palace fans. My gosh, they're something else. So just the noise. I mean, we support the Palace. That chant every Saturday we follow. Yeah,
great chant.
Brilliant chant. So I'm gonna lean towards like very good / gets me emotional. I think maybe gets me emotional for this one. Honestly.
Wow. Up there with Leeds.
I'll drop it down in very good. I'll drop it down in very good.
Very good.
They do make very good noise on their day. Very good noise on their day.
I think to the point where I agree with you for the away fans, but I say for the home. I mean, yeah, I think they probably have got the maybe top 3 best away following in the league. I mean, certainly it's very loud. But I think at home, apart from that one end, I mean, it's. I wouldn't ever have it as high as
Actually, against Brighton, like the derby they have. I think it's like
That's the same with like Southampton and Pompey. You know, it's a derby.
That's true.
Right, Jamie, mate, this is your club. I've actually done this quite well. I didn't even realise, but this worked out very well. So the Bridge. Obviously, you haven't been there. You've been there many times.
Right.
So what are you saying for this one, pal?
Definitely
the only
not
place
biased.
to be every other Saturday. Well, I mean, I've been there to the bad days. I mean, where I've not stood up from my seat because we just no one's seeing anything. But also I've been there, you know, for any like big occasion. So I guess I've seen us at our best, but also vice versa. I've seen us at our lowest in terms of atmosphere created. So if you put Arsenal at decent, that means I've got to follow in that same path there because I guess it's similar.
Fair enough. Right, I'll go with Fulham. Right, Craven Cottage. It's literally like a cottage. It's got the sound of a cottage. I think they have clappers over there. And really, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been there for a couple of away days, and I haven't heard one chant. Like, even when they score, they don't even sing. They just stand up. They just stand up and clap. Mate, we're making more noise even after they score. Which kind of leads me along the lines of in between Meh and My Kitchen creates a better atmosphere because my mum in the kitchen, honestly, you guys should hear it. It is atmospheric, honestly. Elland Road, my mum's kitchen. So I
agree.
I'm so sorry, Fulham fans, if you're out there, but honestly, you've not said a word at a home game except for ordering a hamburger in the restaurants. So I'm putting you guys in My Kitchen. My kitchen sink is bigger than this. I'm putting it in the last category. I'm so sorry. But right, we'll move on. Manchester City, the empty ad.
Wow.
Okay. Go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, the empty ad. And a lot of people say that this club was actually created in 2008 when the oil money came in.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of plastic fans have come in the way along the way. So to be fair to the City, like the diehard fans, I'll drop a clap, but it just does not cut the cheese for me. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go between like maybe Meh and then My Kitchen Sink creates a better atmosphere because it is pretty empty in here.
So Fed, let me ask you a question here. So you think that they create the same amount of atmosphere as Fulham and less atmosphere than Southampton?
We'll put them in Meh.
Meh? Oh, I think that's fair. I think. All right, nice one. Jamie,
on their day,
it's a bit.
Actually, on their day they're pretty good, but I think we'll keep them in Meh for now. We'll keep them in Meh.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so Jamie, this one actually is an interesting one because if we were judging this on the bow lane, we would. I think this gets me emotional. But we're at the London Stadium. We're at the Olympic Stadium.
Again,
so what are you feeling with this one?
Yeah. If we're thinking back to Upton Park and obviously their pre-match song, I'm Prem blowing bubbles, we got to think it's up there with very good or gets me emotional. However, 3 years ago they did move the stadium following the recent Olympic events in London, and if I'm being extremely honest, it's kind of ruined them as a club, even though on the pitch they're playing better.
Much better, yeah.
I think
as
a whole, the fan base and the owners, and obviously by that, the atmosphere really have been, very unfortunately, not scratched. So I'm going to go and chuck it straight into Meh. However, if it was back at Upton Park, I would give it.
I'd put them on their day. They're okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with Fed there, but
if you're not putting City there,
the thing is, you might talk about the stadium. Of course, the stadium had has a huge part to play. If it weren't for the stadium, we'd be looking at very good even. So I don't think, because they've kept their fans, right? It's not like they've all gone away and just said goodbye. You've got to put them on their day that they are decent. Obviously, there's
I do agree. I do, Fed. I do
distance
agree with
between the pitch and the stands.
Yeah,
but
Fed. I do
still.
agree with Jamie though. I do agree with Jamie though. I think if you do put West Ham as on their day they are okay, you have to put City. So I think keeping them in there might be fair.
Yeah.
Or you can decide to move both of them to on their day they are okay. It's up to you lot. But we'll leave it there. Okay, tough more. I'll do this one. I don't think it's really easy, honestly. My mum might have to make another guest appearance on this one because I think from what I've heard and from what I've kind of heard also on the television, they don't create a lot of atmosphere. They don't really. It doesn't look like a nice ground either. But yeah, the best chant I think they've ever come up with was last season when they were screaming something at Eric Dyer after we hurdled about 10 stands at the Norwich game, which was fantastic. So yeah, maybe for that itself, I put them in gets me emotional because I was shedding tears watching that. But no, I'm gonna put Burnley in the old My Kitchen creates a better atmosphere.
Agreed.
So they're gonna go in with Fulham. Right, this is a big one, Fed, because we're relying on.
Fed's getting the bangers out.
Listen.
Honestly, Fed is. He's out here. So Fed, I've got honestly.
Listen.
Liverpool are walking alone at the moment, but with fans, they're not really.
Oh wow!
So what do you think, mate? Anfield.
Honestly, sensational. One word to describe it. You get shivers down your spine. The lot, So I think you're sort of speechless when you talk about these lot, because just that. You never walk alone when you come into the stadium. It just through the alley, mate. It just gets you emotional. So I'm gonna have to put it in that category. It's just brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, nice. I think there was a video.
Yeah.
There was a video last season in the Champions League.
Them and Leeds for best atmospheres in the league.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was a video last on the Barcelona one when they beat them 4-0 of them just singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" in front of the cop. Yeah. That was just such a sick video. Honestly, I was crying.
And also Jamie, the effect that the fans have on them, it's just incredible. That Anfield bounce that they have. Of course, now that's they're starting to lose there a little bit, but normally it's just been incredible. So yeah.
Yeah, really has. All right. Jamie, the Baggies, the Hawthorns. You've been there for the.
I've been there.
You've been there. What do you think?
I saw us won the league there. Yeah. So I did visit them back in 2017 when Chelsea won the league there. Last minute Batshuayi winner. Very, very, very scenic away end. However, for the home fans, obviously, what we're judging them on. I've seen them. I mean, they are some feisty fans, by the way. They are some proper diehard football aggressive fans. They obviously have got big derbies in Birmingham, especially with Wolves. They sing the Liquidator at the start of the match, which again, creates a nice bit of atmosphere. So again, I'm kind of conflicting between on their day they're okay and meh, but I think because of what they can do, in the derbies, I'm going to go and put them in on their day. On their day, they're okay because I think they actually have got a nice set of fans. If I'm being honest, actually.
Nice. I think that's correct. I'll go with Brighton Hove Albion, the Amex, the American Express Stadium. I don't actually know too much about this one. From what I've heard from people, what I've seen, what I've heard on the TV, is that it's kind of average. I know that there are some days where I've heard them make a lot of noise, but overall, I don't think they're that good. I'm kind of speaking in a way that I'm slightly clueless about what I'm talking about. If anyone else has a view on this, you can change my opinion, but I'm personally going to put them in meh.
I agree. Spot on.
You agree? Cool. So yeah, we'll leave it that simple there. Brighton goes in meh with West Ham and City. Fed, right. Spurs.
Right.
White Hart Lane.
obviously they moved into their
We
new
won
stadium
the
and
league.
everything, but they have on their day. I'm gonna put them on their day. They're okay / decent.
So I'm sorry. I'm actually going to go and
Wow.
counteract that. To be fair to Fed, he's not been there before to the new stadium.
I've never been to the new stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I haven't.
I've been there twice. One for the Chelsea away game, which we smacked them 2-0. But then I also went for the City home game, 2-0, Bergwijn's debut.
Oh,
And the way the stadium's built is that sound just echoes around it. So honestly, it's so well done. The buildings and mechanics behind it. And on that basis, I'm going to go and put it in very good. Hate to admit it, but I think
fair enough. Yeah,
it's
okay.
definitely better than the old stadium. So
I've never been there,
Okay.
so like, yeah, you go for that.
Exactly, it's fine.
Right.
And then I'm going to give Sam
Jamie.
United here because Sam has been to United, so I'm actually going to go and give Sam the Old Trafford.
Cool. I did go there in 2015, so wasn't really able to soak it up. But there was a wonderful Robin van Persie job that shout out Jasper. Jasper will really happy. I gave a name drop there. James Madison. Me and him went up to Old Trafford back in 2015, and yeah, I think it's a good ground. I think it's probably one of the. I think on their day, no, I'm not putting it in that category, but on their day, they're absolutely superb. I think I'm going to put them probably in very good. I think I've heard, they make mass amount of noises. They have the highest capacity stadium in the Prem, which kind of justifies the fact that they do create a lot of noise. They've got a lot of really really good chants. Take Me Home Country Roads is a good one. And then a lot of other ones which are really good too. So I'm going to chuck them with Spurs and Palace in very good because I think they are just a step above Arsenal and Chelsea. I do actually have something to say at the end because I feel a bit bad for Everton. I'm kind of looking at them in decent, and I think they're actually really good. Like I think they have really good atmosphere, especially at home.
Boost them up.
But you think boost them up? All right, we'll chuck Everton with the very good. I think
their away fans are pretty good as well. So
yeah, okay. So we'll put them there with Man United, Spurs, and Palace. Jamie, go with Villa, the old hi-ho Aston Villa.
Certainly not happy about Man U being and not getting emotional. I think it's probably the best. I'd honestly have it over Leeds and Liverpool. I think for me, okay, but fine. Honestly, I would do. I think thinking every single stand, I think it's probably the best in the country. But if that's what you believe, then so do I. So then next we have the older, as Sam said, hi-ho Aston Villa. Aston Villa, again, another team in Birmingham. Obviously got their West Midlands rivals. And I've got to say, they do create a bit of noise. Obviously, I haven't been in Europe since they won it in 1982. So I haven't really been able to see them on a proper European night with proper, vibes. Again, though, they do sing hi-ho silver lining before every game, which, again, does create a bit. And then on that basis, I am flirting between decent and very good. But if we're putting them on the same level as United and, Tottenham, God.
Do you think, Jamie? Do you think United should go up one?
Yeah. Just put it there.
Wow.
And I'm going to put
Villa very good.
Into very good because I love them.
Yeah. All right, Fed, you can end us off on the Blades. Bramall Lane.
Yeah, I've never been there before, but
yeah, you
heard that. I have heard that they are actually all right. I'm not really sure about this one, to be honest, but
if you want,
yeah, Jamie, if you want, you can take over.
I put it in decent personally.
Again, before every game, they go and sing "Greasy Chip Butty," which is a very very nice song. And apart from that, Sheffield is a pretty grim place, but I feel like Bramall Lane is that one centre of life and atmosphere. I think Sheffield have got some great fans, so on that basis, I'll put them in decent.
Cool. Right. Well, I feel a bit
decent.
bad because Jamie, you've gone with like, oh, they play this song before the game, and West Ham are playing "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles," and we've got them in
Yeah.
net.
I think we've got to move West Ham up. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but no, that's
I think
shitty.
I
No, because
think
yeah,
it's
But let's leave it there.
we'll leave it
I
there.
think that this can be
All
a
right,
debate
so
on all evening.
yeah.
if
Fair
anyone
enough.
wants
Yeah,
to,
fair.
give it a little screenshot of the final tier list, here's your
Put it on the
opportunity
Instagram.
right
Yeah.
now. Here you go. I'm giving you all the time in the world you need. Go on,
And
share it
if
to
you
your
have
friends.
any counteracting opinions, please let us know
We would
down
love
in
to
the
hear that.
comments
We
or on
will.
the Instagram accounts. Because,
So yeah, here is our final tier list. Gets me emotional. We've got Leeds, Liverpool, United, and in your My Kitchen creates a better atmosphere. We've got Fulham and Burnley. So that's unfortunate. So I'm going to stop the old screen share and head back to you lot in the studio.
Right. So that was brilliant. I think you guys probably enjoyed that. But now we're gonna go and look at our most underrated Premier League 11. So we'll talk through that a little bit. So yeah, I think we should get that going. Jimmy, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, so we're gonna go and play a 4-3-3, but with a false 9 because we felt like there weren't really many unrated strikers. I mean, obviously, Premier League's got the best strikers in the world, but I didn't really feel like anyone was underrated. So we're playing like a false 9 up front. And then to start off in goal, I mean, certainly many shouts. Newcastle obviously creating Dubravka and Cardalo.
Cardalo's been outstanding, yeah.
Yeah, but we have gone and chosen Kasper Schmeichel. We think he's just, especially for his height, he is just a brick wall. And won the league with them back in 2016, and I believe that he is very underrated, very
consistently solid. I think.
I agree.
Him, yeah.
Fed, why don't you
he never really makes a mistake.
You do the right back and the left back, and then I'll do the two centre backs.
Yeah. Also, a little mention to Sam Johnston as well. He's been all right, despite the fact that he's conceded the most goals in the Premier League this season. He's still been actually pretty decent. So yeah.
Very good stat, though. Yeah, that's a good stat.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the fullbacks. At left back, we've gone for who have we gone for at left back? We have gone for Matt Targett of Aston Villa, who's actually a very, very good player, by the way. Not really looked at. He's not in that talk. Who's the best left back in the Premier League? He's not in there. So I think he should get a little bit more respect. People should put a little bit more respect on him because he is actually a very, very good footballer. And he's consistent, I think.
And then my question is there, Fed, do you think Matt Targett can be pressing Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell for the England slot left back?
I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit early for that, but who knows? A couple more good performances, and he could be right up there. But I think Luke Shaw's been really hitting his stride.
I think he could. I think certainly easily he can get on that list for me because I think apart from Fernandes, he's probably been the best player at United easily. Even though I hate to admit it, because I don't rate him normally because he is sometimes looked a bit short
and shaky,
and fat. But apart from that, no, this year he's been honestly he's been so immense. I mean, his balls are so consistent. His defending has been so consistent that I think he's definitely a good mention to put there.
Agreed.
Should I do the two centre backs, or do you have your own?
We've got the right back. Yeah, we've got the right back.
You got your right back. Go on.
So this one I'm sort of torn between Matty Cash and Vladimir Koufal of West Ham. I think they've both been exceptional. Koufal, who came in the summer from Slavia Praha from the Czech Republic, has been really good. Adjusted £5 million. £5 million, yeah. Wow. And he's adjusted so well to the Premier League, and alongside his teammate Thomas Souček, they've been really good. So Koufal's a very good shout. And then also Matty Cash, who came from Nottingham Forest in the Championship. Obviously, there's that big step between the Championship and the Premier League, but I think he's proved all doubters, if there were any, wrong, because he's been nothing but exceptional. again, really consistent player, and yeah, who knows? Obviously there's a lot of options at the England right back. Maybe it's a little bit too early, but if he keeps on going the way he is, he could be right up there for the future.
Right, nice. So I'll do our 2 CBs. And Jamie, maybe you can do our 3 midfielders. I'm gonna go with the old Ogbonna. Got him in my red picks on FIFA, so he's very close to my heart. So I think he's been really solid for West Ham. Obviously, they've had a really good season. I think everyone was a bit surprised by the season that they've had, and one of the reasons is because of the steadiness and sturdiness they have at the back. Ogbonna, he's got a really good link up with Diop as the other centre back. And yeah, they've been really solid
Dawson
together
as well. Yeah, he's been really
Craig
good.
Dawson, honestly, like I would let Ogbonna protect my children. I'd give him my life. And that's how much I trust him, and that's how much I wouldn't mind him in an Arsenal team who are a team who's struggling defensively at the moment. With team selection.
He's been really solid. Like he often gets a goal from a corner as well. He loves a goal as well. So he's good for your fantasy football as well.
Okay, Fed. Do you think that Ogbonna could be pushing for the Italian spot at the back then for the summer for the Euros? Because it's like, I mean, there's Bonucci and Romagnoli, but
your Chiellini's, mate.
Yeah, but everyone's getting a bit older, obviously. Yeah.
Also Bastoni of Inter as well. He put Ibra on skates today, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think he's been good at Ogbonna, but to the Italy side, I think our most overloaded position is the centre back position. So who knows?
Yeah. Right. All right. Well,
Sam,
I'll move on to the.
He's definitely pushing for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. On the other centre back position, we've gone with big shout out to Ben Godfrey, but we've gone with I've gone with Michael Keane as my most underrated other centre back. I thought, especially yesterday, if anyone watched the old Merseyside derby, he was immense. He was absolutely superb. Like Mark, when he gets home, right, he's going to open his pockets. He's going to find his wallet, his keys. He's going to find Salah, Firmino, Mane, Thiago. He's going to find the Liverpool team bus in there as well. They're going to be parked in his garage when he gets home. But yeah, he's been absolutely superb. And especially yesterday and other performances. He's actually scored a few goals this season as well off the corners. The old big bullet header, the old Thogdad bullet header, as you call that. The old Mikey Keane. Hopefully Thogdad sees this, and then we go on his Instagram and we're famous. So yeah, I'm gonna leave. That's my centre back pairing. Me and Fed will continue on the attackers further up the pitch. But Jamie, take us away with your 3 in the midfield.
Yeah, I mean certainly there's plenty of options in the midfield. I mean, a very, very blessed league we are to have so many talented midfielders. To begin, more in the holding role. I mean, I say that. I mean, for the holding position, there's two. I mean, there's 2 that I'm kind of conflicting with again. Obviously, he would be my number 1 pick about a month ago, but since then he's become more rated. So it's tough to call him underrated, but I think Thomas Souček certainly. I mean,
what a season he's having. By the way,
I mean, not only can he, I mean, first of all, his tackling is unreal. His passing is sick. But then, for some reason, on any set piece, him at the back post, it's just
him at the back post.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, it's like a flying fish at the back stick with his header every single time. Love potato salad. Love to do the baby celebration with a kufao.
Also, he's a warrior on the pitch.
I mean,
you see him today.
You see what happened today?
Honestly,
yeah,
it looked like he come out of the MMA.
And he just kept on playing. Like that attitude nowadays is so hard to find. But
in the salad, there is stuff in there that makes him a lot.
There's got to be something. He's built different, mate.
But obviously, as I did mention, that he has become slightly more rated. So I think kind of as a 50-50 between him and Malian, or player from Mali, Yves Bissouma.
What a player.
Of Brighton.
Player.
I mean, certainly he seems like this season, I how do I say it? Like, no, it sounds like if you open like a chest and there's like one element of gold and the rest are coal. I feel like that kind of right now is the brighter side. I feel like he's, the best source of everything. I'm not
Good
sure if I said that.
analogy,
Yeah, I mean, just imagine like a chest and there's like coal
Yeah,
everywhere.
no.
Or
Yeah.
like one little bit of a gold. I feel like
Brilliant.
a Basuma is the gold. Certainly can hit them from outside the box. Loves the screamer. I mean,
Yeah,
loves the screamer. But then, apart from his shooting for some reason, I think he has the most interceptions and tackles this year. Even though Brighton are in a scrap for relegation, Basuma seems to be the person that is just carrying them big time. Passing's great, and tackling is great. So I think him or Souček can be in between that. And then next we have, I think certainly Aston Villa. I mean, obviously you've got a very, very good midfield. And then obviously being a proud Scotsman I see a lot of potential in John McGinn. Obviously signed from Hibernian 2 years ago. And he was, for them, their heart and soul. So obviously he was a big part of their club. But now after the move to Premier League and Villa, he's certainly settled in. And he's been superb. I mean, his running action is so weird. He's like short and clunky as well. But he's so powerful and so strong, and he can just. His engine is so rapid, powerful, can tackle, also can hit them.
He can hit them. Yeah,
Chelsea hit the ball.
Yeah, obviously, and then also 2 years ago
that
in
2
the
years,
Championship against Sheffield Wednesday.
What a goal that was, by the way.
Friday, actually.
Off the crossbar, yeah, Tuesday today. No,
just outside
Sunday.
the box, perfect, right in that top bin.
And then I think, McGuinness, his power is unmentionable and undescribable. So I think next, again, another Aston Villa player, someone who is currently on loan from Chelsea. Oh, bus down in the background.
Park the bus.
I feel like, and I feel like people always have, that one player at their club who they secretly like, who everyone, hates. And for me, that was always Ross Barkley. I felt like we signed him, obviously, from Everton, I think 3 years ago. And he found a bit of form under Sarri in the Europa League and in the cup competitions, but never really found himself starting in the midfield three. Then under Lampard, again, it was very, very hit and miss. But certainly before COVID, he was putting in performances against Liverpool in the FA Cup and Everton at home because due to our injuries. However, I really think he's very underrated. I think his attacking mindset, certainly as we finally be able to go and see at Villa, he's scoring goals all the time. He's getting assists, left foot, right foot, devastating. Also heading a few goals, scored a header against Southampton a few weeks ago. And I think he's certainly been a big part of their midfield at Villa. Right now onto the attack. I'll let you continue with that.
Why don't Fed you do the I'll do the left winger and then you can do the striker and the right winger.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so you can do the last two then for us. So for the left winger, I'm gonna do the old equaliser. Ooh, Harvey Barnes. Yeah, he got a goal today. I think it's interesting because you might not think he's underrated, but when I'm looking on social media and I'm seeing all these tier lists with all like the young players, I somehow sometimes never see Barnes. Like it's always like Saka, Mount, Cho, Greenwood, Foden, and like Eze and stuff, and I just never see Barnes. I'm like, you guys realize Barnes actually young. He might look old, but he's not. And I think this season he's racked up some mad numbers. He scores in the big games. He scores in the small games. Honestly, he's absolutely wonderful. And I think he has to be one of the most underrated players this season in a very, very strong Leicester team. He's kind of got everything. I know Jamie's just bought his Future Stars player on FIFA.
He's had a really bad weekend, by the way.
He's had a bad weekend for Jamie,
no
unfortunately.
balance.
There you go.
For his life, yeah.
Which is unfortunate. So Harvey Barnes is our left winger. Fed, why don't you go with our right winger and our striker to end the old underrated team of the Prem?
Okay, yeah, I will do. Actually, at left wing, I'd like to mention Pedro Neto as well. Honourable mention. He's been fantastic for Wolves as well. And All right. And then at right wing, I've gone for the Leeds player who they brought in the summer, Rafinha, who's the Brazilian who's been nothing but exceptional. This guy has been tearing it up.
He's Brazilian.
He only cost 2 million.
I think he came in from he was 20 odd million from Stade Rennais in Ligue 1, and he was also formerly of Sporting Lisbon as well. But he's been really, really good for Leeds. He brings that sort of flair to the Premier League, which is, I don't know, it's incredible how he plays. He's been playing really, really well. So and I think he's sort of that glue in that Leeds team, makes everything happen. Left-footed player, I think, and he's brilliant.
Yeah, obviously, certainly. Patrick Bamford mentioned in an interview last week that he was surprised that at the so-called Big Six didn't pick him up for like a bargain, because 20 million for him from Rennes, obviously, he said is a bargain. So
yeah,
he's definitely doing well there.
Yeah. All right, Fed, why don't you hit us up with the striker?
All right, striker options. I think there weren't many underrated strikers in the Prem, but I think I had to say Che Adams for this one. I think he's been pretty good, solid. I think when Ings was injured, he was putting up some decent numbers. Obviously struggled for goals last season, but I think he's slowly adapting to the Premier League. Obviously, he came from Birmingham in 2019 summer. It's going to be hard to adapt a young lad to go from the Championship to the Premier League. It's going to be difficult, and I think he's done pretty well. And he's not that rated actually. So
yeah,
I think,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice, good stuff, Fed. Well, I thought that was well done from everyone. Unfortunately, we want to kind of, it is a late on the old Sunday night. We all have school tomorrow. The February half term is coming to an end rapidly. Jamie's has to play his champs game. There you go. So we're gonna there were some good Premier League fixtures this weekend. Probably not as exciting as last weekend, which we went into a lot of detail on. So we might leave that, maybe come back to it at another point. There was we're going to kind of do two more things. We're going to go through a game that happened in the Serie A this weekend, and then our Champions League predictions for the game coming on Tuesdays and Wednesday, and then we'll wrap it up there. So Milan v Inter happened. Obviously, me, Fed, and Jamie are Fed mostly big Milan fans. I know Fed will want to share his views. I'll get my opinion and we'll ask questions in on it and what we think. Obviously, I think, in my opinion, if anyone didn't watch the game ended 3-0 to Inter. Martinez with 2 goals, Lukaku with 1. I think debatedly 2 of the best strikers at the moment in Europe. At the moment, I think we can all say that. Lukaku is looking like an absolute beast. Honestly, I don't know what they've injected into him, but it's incredible. So I think literally. So I think with this game, I think it was kind of clear to see that Milan were top for a while. They were top for a while, and I think it comes down to stamina. And when I mean stamina I mean like kind of just like, having the ability to beat those small teams and also beat the big teams when you need to. And today we knew that we needed to step up. I think purely, I know he's a good motivator. He probably told the boys that before, but we didn't. I thought some of their goals were preventable. It wasn't like they scored 3 screamers. I thought they were good goals, but they were preventable. I think stuff like marking was an issue today. The first goal was marking. I think the second goal debatably as well was marking. I got actually hold of a stat that all 3 of Inter's goals came from a goal kick or a long ball from the centre back. I think we can have a discussion, maybe a debate about who are the best 2 centre backs at Milan. We can maybe save that for another day, because I think Romagnoli got put on toast today by Lukaku. Quick step, and you have to argue, like, would have Lukaku got the step in for that 3rd goal if Tomori was at centre back? In my opinion, I don't think so. So I think it's quite clear to see that Milan are the worst side. Not just were the worst side in the game. We are worse than Inter. Inter were the better team. Inter are the better team, and Inter are probably the best team in the moment.
I think it comes down to a difference in quality. Like if you look individually at players, Inter just have if you look at one-on-ones head to head, Inter have the better side. I think that attack is just, it could rip through any team. Honestly, Lukaku was bullying Romagnoli out on that pitch, and we just looked throughout the game. We sort of started to come into it towards the end of the first half, but we were just a clear fish out of water. Like it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. We were on the back foot from minute one, and they piled the pressure on us, and then we just crumbled. We crumbled, and I think that's what it comes down to. As you said, can you win in the easy games, but then can you fight off the big boys? We had our chance to close the gap a little bit, but we didn't take it. And Inter with a better side. Ashraf Hakimi was brilliant running down that right wing. I thought Theo Hernandez for us was sort of neutralised him a little bit, but just everything was happening. They won the midfield battle. They won the defensive battle. They won the attacking battle. It was all them. It was all them.
They wanted it more.
Yeah, exactly. And at points we were good, but as I said, and it goes back to the title of this podcast, it is a game of two halves. And
love that.
It's a game of two halves. And yeah, I mean, I could point out individual performances. I thought Sandro Tonali for us was really good. He was all over the pitch. Like he was brilliant. He played that sort of Kante role today a little bit. Yeah, he was really good. I don't know why he got subbed off. I have to question Pioli's substitutions. Yeah. I felt like subbing off Ibrahimovic was that's sort of just accepting defeat. And bringing on Samu Castillejo, especially, you're sort of accepting defeat at that point. When we went 3-0 down, that's when it happened. That was sort of just, okay, it's set in stone. The game's wrapped up. Sualia Mate, mediocre. He had one shot, all right. And then Romagnoli got put on toast. He was awful today. And I sometimes have to question how he's our club captain, because it seems like all the other 10 players on the pitch are way better than him. And yeah, I mean, Inter were just incredible. I'd like to shout out Bastoni for Inter. I thought it was incredible for a young guy to just neutralize Ibrahimovic like that and stop him from being as potent as he normally is. Was just I can only clap for him. And mate, it's good for the Italy side. I'm happy about that, but it's so disappointing today. It was so disappointing because this was sort of our, okay, here's the facts. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be, we're going to win every game as we may have thought at the start of the season when we were running riot. But now it's the pressure's on. The pressure's on, and we've got to step up, and we have to rely on Inter to drop points now. So listen, it's tough, but I look at the small games that we drew, Genoa, Verona, stuff like that, and that's the difference maker. Also losing to Spezia again, as I said, I mentioned that. But that's the difference maker. I mean, and also I'd like to say, Salamakers, you were god awful today. You were awful.
What? No,
he was awful. He was awful. He was awful.
Right, Fed on the case said, I've got two questions. Obviously, we touched upon this last week about Romagnoli and your passionate thoughts about him. Do you see Kalulu and Tamori fighting for a spot to get ahead of him, even though
definitely
he's your club captain and he is experienced and Italian? But does it really work with him?
It's funny because you've got Pierre Kalulu, who came from Lyon Academy, right? he had no experience as playing in like professional sides. He was playing in the under 23s, stuff like that. And he burst onto the scene as a centre back. So bear in mind, he's out of position. He was incredible for us, and also bagged a couple goals as well. And just Tomori's been really good as well. Like when he's played, I thought he's had a really good first impression, and I think he'll keep that up. And I think Paolo Maldini as well. He said he's really happy with Tomori's performances, and there is that buy option. So maybe that could be a permanent move. But I think he's been really good, and I think this should be sort of realization that okay, we should start Tomori now, because Romagnoli, okay, you are the club captain, but it comes to the point where your performances are so mediocre.
Thanks for the memories, but it's time to say goodbye.
There you go.
Actually, there weren't any memories, were there? Just time to say goodbye. Not really. Jamie, I've got a question for you.
But yeah, I think Romagnoli, he's got to go. I think
I've got a question for you, Jamie. Do you think Milan are a team that, and this is gonna be maybe one of the final questions, do you think Milan are a team that can kind of stabilize their position in second, or are we maybe in a position where we actually might have to start thinking about like, oh no, like we actually might, like if Juve start picking up points, if Napoli, Atalanta, those types of teams, do you think maybe it's a factor on we should maybe like actually start thinking about, like there's a chance that we could drop out of this top four?
Yeah, I mean, certainly we can't think about considering, about thinking, right, Tavares is gone. I mean, certainly we are second, and we are still in a title race.
Yes,
obviously, not trying to and ignore that. However, the play style at Milan, obviously, when you have a striker like Ibra, and then obviously brought in Mandzukic in January, obviously very experienced, however not very mobile. But tall and strong guys. This means you're going to play more as like a target man, like boost it long,
crosses, and everything,
crosses, exactly. And today, I can name you. I mean, I've not got the stat in my hand, but I mean, there were certainly about 20 crosses,
yeah.
And it's really about, do they work? Obviously, Chelsea for a long time under Frank were playing cross and hope, but whereas when you have the options as they do at Inter of Lautaro and Lukaku, that they can play target man for Lukaku. They can play in behind with either of them. But also, they can play in pass and move. I mean, so many play styles where there's always a plan A doesn't work, plan B, and then plan C.
That's really true. Yeah, Jamie,
like
you've nailed that on the head, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like at Milan, if it doesn't work, where apart from maybe Teo driving forward and playing as a striker, which doesn't always work, what is a plan B? And I feel like today, once we kept crossing it in and it didn't work, there was no reaction from Pioli or the players. It was just, keep crossing it in. And unfortunately, once you cross the ball in, your fullbacks come forward, Teo,
and you're left exposed,
as well, and then left exposed, and Lukaku and Lautaro and Hakimi's pace on the left, and even Perisic, Perisic on the left, and Hakimi on the right. The pace was just exposed, and that's how the two counters.
Yeah, it also like, how Inter you can sort of do anything. You can cross, as you said, you can through ball. Our only way, other than sort of crossing it in, I think is just Teo Hernandez just bombing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing that we're at a stage where we're second, right, in the Serie A, like a big league, and half of our attacking threat is reliant on our left back.
Yeah.
Also, you can't imagine like the Inter manager Conte. He of course he's not oblivious to everything that's going on. He probably knew. He probably was the first one to spot, okay, Milan are a very cross and hope sort of team, right?
Yeah.
And he dealt with that so well. Handanovic as well made like.
Can I say about Handanovic? Oh, I'm gonna break my monitor. I
I'm
swear.
going to break my monitor. I swear.
Samir Handanovic made about
It was
10
ridiculous.
saves that were just,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
as DT once said, he could save the Titanic, honestly.
He could have. All right,
Yeah.
boys. I think we should. I think we've kind of hit the hour mark over here. I think we could genuinely talk about this for hours upon hours.
Yeah.
But I know Jamie
Yeah.
has some foot champs matches to go complete, obviously. And
Tomorrow.
you know, Fed, I know it's past your bedtime already.
Wait.
You're welcome, mate. You're
No,
welcome.
I know, mate.
Honestly.
Okay, I'm obviously just joking there, mate. So yeah, I think we should. Unfortunately, you know, we have transferred on the old loan deal to the old boyhood club of to the old Zoom. We will be returning to our boyhood club of being all together. Hopefully, if Boris Johnson tomorrow can just give us a bit of to give us some help tomorrow in his Prime Minister's speech about what we're doing in this lockdown. So hopefully he can pull through.
You must stay home.
Fed, go on, do it. Go on, do it for the lads. Do it for
Shall
the
do
boys, Fed.
Shall do it?
Go on, do it. Oh.
Okay,
Go on,
got to
Fed.
put the water down. You must stay at home. Control the virus and yes, the COVID pandemic. We must close all schools, and yes.
Brilliant. That's
Lovely,
class,
mate.
Well,
Roses are red, violets are blue, and unfortunately, after today, Milan is blue.
Oh,
Sorry.
Roses are red,
Apologies.
violets are blue. Unfortunately, Jamie, you're not getting gold too. So there you
Hey.
go. No,
Landone blue.
All right,
That was
boys. Well,
brilliant. That was
Right,
brilliant.
boys. Great shift for today.
Pleasure speaking with all
Back
of
tomorrow.
you. Back
That was
again.
lovely.
Pleasure. See you when you're younger. Please change.
Don't go.
Yes,
don't go
boys.
contingent.
Lovely
In a bit, lads.
stuff.
Well done, boys.
In a bit. Cheers, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.